back to another one of my videos. If you're new here, my name is Lotta, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this delicious red currant meringue cake. Now the first thing I'm going to do is go pick some fresh red currants from my grandma's backyard and simply take them off the stem and give them a really good wash to get rid of any of the gunk that's left on them. Now that we've washed and cleaned all of our red currants, we can set these aside to dry off while we make the actual dough. So for the actual dough, you're going to need 125 grams of softened butter, 75 grams of sugar with a good pinch of salt, some vanilla sugar, you could also use vanilla extract instead, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 3 large eggs that are also room temperature. We're just going to be using the egg yolks and setting the egg whites aside. And last but not least, 175 grams of all-purpose flour. Now, like with all of our cake doughs, we're simply going to whisk together our butter, sugar, salt, and vanilla until it's super light and fluffy before adding our egg yolks one at a time. And at the very end, we simply have to fold in our dry ingredients. You might also need a splash of milk or lemon juice or really any liquid to get a nice smooth consistency that you can spread into your cake tin. So I just transferred the dough into my pre-lined baking tray. Now this can wander into our preheated oven for around 15 minutes, and in the meantime we're going to prepare our meringue. While the dough is already baking, we can start making our meringue that's going to go on top. So for that, you're going to need 125 grams of sugar, our 3 egg whites from earlier, and 30 grams of ground hazelnuts. Now to make a meringue, it's really easy. So all we're going to do is whisk up our egg whites and gradually add in our sugar until we get some nice stiff peaks and the whole mixture kind of looks glossy and shiny. And at that point, all you have to do is fold in the nuts and the red currants. Now you also want to make sure not to overmix your meringue, and you just want to very gently fold in the 500 grams of red currants just until everything's come together. That way you're keeping as much air as possible inside of your meringue. So now that our cake has baked the first 10-15 minutes and the top is kind of golden brown and it's pretty much cooked through, we can simply add our whole meringue mixture right on top, smooth it out, give it a little bit of texture, and then pop it back into the oven for another 15 to 20 minutes. Now you want to make sure to keep an eye on your cake while it's in the oven now, because sometimes the meringue does go brown pretty fast. That's why you might not need the whole 20 minutes, you might just need 15 minutes. But you basically just want to keep it in the oven until the top's kind of getting a little crispy and it's nice and golden brown. Now for the last 10 minutes, I did lower the heat to 160 degrees Celsius, just because my meringue was going brown quite fast because I'm using a different oven today. So that being said, just make sure to keep an eye on your cake while it's in the oven and just kind of use your own judgment whether or not you want to lower the heat or not. So at this point, we just have to wait for the cake to completely cool down before we can eat it. So that's everything for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, you could give it a thumbs up. And as always, the whole recipe is going to be in the description box below as well.